Welcome to Lesson 5, problem number 3, where we are trying to rewrite equations so that y is a function of x. So what our real goal is to basically get our final answer so that y equals something, and the x is always going to be part of that something. So that's where we're heading as we write each of these such that y is a function of x. Okay, let's start with the first one. So we're going to start by distributing, and I'm going to start a little further to the left so that we can see everything clearly. And I know you're great with the distributing now, where the 3 distributes through the parentheses. We're trying to get y alone. So I'm going to start by adding 3 to both sides. So add 3 to both sides, and we get 3x plus y equals 8. And now I'm going to subtract the 3x from both sides, so minus 3x on both sides. And so my final answer, since these 3x's will be gone, will be y equals, and I have both an 8 and a negative 3x or minus 3x. I'm going to write the minus 3x first, but it is totally acceptable for you to write it as y equals 8 minus 3x instead of negative 3x plus 8. The reason I am writing it in this form is it's going to help us in future lessons, and you've already taken an algebra class, you'll know what I mean by that. But let's just get in the habit of putting the x term first and then the number that doesn't have the x term second. Great habit to be in. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, so now we are going to simply subtract 8x from both sides, and that will start to eliminate everything except for the y. So we have 4y equals, and instead of 12 minus 8x, I'm going to write it as negative 8x plus 12. Now we're going to divide by 4. Now, keep in mind, when we're dividing both sides of an equation by something, this time I wrote it so that each term got divided by 4. You could have also made it one long fraction line and just put one of the 4s. That would have been fine too. And then by sharing is caring, you'd get the same thing. But I'm going to have us look at it as two different we're going to leave this as a divided by, as two different terms, just because it'll help us get to our final answer a little bit quicker. So we now have y equals, because the 4's cancel, negative 2x plus 3, and we're done. Y is now a function of x. Okay, let's go to the next one. So here what we're going to do is I'm going to start by distributing that 1/2. So I'm just going to rewrite it as y minus 4 equals 1/2 times x. And remember how you multiply 1/2 times 6. It's going to be simply 3. Okay, so now we're going to add 4 to both sides. And just like that, we have y equals 1/2 x plus 7, and we have written y such that it is a function of x. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now remember, if two terms are on the same side of the equal sign, we can just combine them. But in this case, there's no like terms on the left or the right. So I'm going to start by moving this 2y on the right-hand side to the left by making it minus 2y. And I'm going to do a few steps at once here. I'm also going to subtract 2x from both sides. I'm going to leave the 3 and the negative 4 for right now, but I'm kind of doing 2 steps at once just to kind of challenge you a little bit with that. And when I do that, notice the 2x minus the 2x cancels. The 4y minus the 2y gives me 2y. And then I have plus 3 still on the left. On the right hand of the equal sign, the 2y's canceled. And negative 9x minus 2x is negative 11x minus 4. Now you might ask, well, why did I know to subtract the 2y from the right? The reason I did that was I wanted the y's to go to the left, and I subtracted the 2x from the left because I knew that would move the x's to the right. And remember, we're trying to write each one of these such that y is on the left. Doesn't technically have to be on the left, but the best way to write it is y equals, and then get the x's on the right. So look at this, only 2 more steps. We're going to subtract 3 from both sides, and we now have 2y equals negative 11x minus 7. And now I'm going to do our divide every single term by 2 to get y alone. And our final answer is simply y equals negative 11 halves x minus 7 halves. And just like that, we're done. Great job. See you next time.